Hi, I'm Oakley, and today I wanted to show off a new game I wrote called Mancrawla. It's a mancala-based dungeon crawl. Basically, the premise is in Mancala, you move your beans into the different pots, and in Mancrawla, the pot you land in determines what happens in your dungeon room. So to play, you're going to need a mancala board with the beans. You're going to need at least 4 6-sided dice. And you can play with just 1d4, but I recommend having probably at least 3 if possible. Just makes rolling for monsters a little bit easier. So we're going to do a playthrough. Oh, and a set of polyhedral dice. Sorry, that was kind of loud. But a set of polyhedral dice, so that's your d4, 6, 8, 10, the percentile dice, the d12, and the d20. So you'll need those, and then you'll also need, and this is a chance for me to show off my cool ttrpg travel case that I 3D printed. It's currently holding all the dice that I used for 4 Against Darkness, plus a full polyhedral set. This is Bass, my tavern owner character, and he does feature in Mancrawla, so he is mentioned along with my 4 Against Darkness characters. Anyway, you will need a pencil and something to write on. In this case, I printed out the character sheet. This is one that I used earlier today. I will be erasing this so we have a fresh start. And the combat tracker. So really these are the 2 pages you'll need. If you want to take more detailed notes, a separate sheet of paper is totally encouraged. So yeah, let's get started. So I'm going to show a brief overview of the rule book real quick, just so you know what you're getting. We have our cover page, obviously, and then it goes into the traditional Mancala rules and how it works. So first, what you do in regular Mancala is you pick a pot of beans on your side of the board, and you distribute those beans to the different pots. So say if I took this third pot, which has 4 beans, I would go 1 into this pot, 1 into this pot, 1 into this pot, and the last one would land in my winning pot. Landing in the winning pot lets you take a second turn. And then so on and so forth if you keep landing in the winning pot. And your turn ends when you finish, there's no more. You finish in a different well, for instance. However, in Mancrawla, where you land dictates where you are in the dungeon or what you encounter in the dungeon. So you'll want to keep this chart handy because it's basically telling you all of your encounters. And then here, how the enemy moves, because Mancrawla, I should mention, is a single player game, where Mancala, the original game, is 2-player. Mancrawla is designed just for 1 person. So how does your opponent move, right? So an opponent moves by rolling a d6. Get a 5. So the enemy would move from the 5th pot. So let me make sure you can see it. This is the 5th pot for the enemy. Your pot is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and the enemy pot is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if they rolled a 5, they would move their 5th pot. So then it goes to the combat section. And when we actually play the game, we'll go more in depth of how the combat works. But it's roll 3d6, and what you get depends on who hits, and your weapon die that you purchase from the flea market is what tells your damage amount. We have some tables for common monsters, D4 table. We have a D6 table for elite monsters. And then we have one of my 4 Against Darkness characters, Stumpfoot. We have Stumpfoot's Dungeon Flea Market, where you will purchase your gear or any potions you may want. On the next page, we have your random encounter table and the winning pot table. So anytime you land in your winning pot, you get to roll on your winning pot table. And then we just have the booklet version of the character sheet and the combat tracker. There's another combat tracker page because when I play tested it, you usually run about 12 to 15 monsters if you don't die prior to that. So 12 to 15 monsters before you win the game. And then the most helpful page that gives you all the details and all the rules is the rules summary page. So this is where we're going to start our playthrough. So we're going to start from the top here. Regular Mancala rules apply. Roll 3d6 for your strength. So let's roll this. I did already roll it, but then my cat tried to kill me by climbing up my legs. So I did roll a 12, but we'll re-roll just so it's on camera. 6, 9, 8. I lied. I want my 12. Then that's fine. So, but we'll take the 8 for our HP and add the 8 to our 12 to get our starting HP. So 12 plus 8, we have a starting HP of 20. So then, if our strength is 12, we get an attack modifier of +2. So that's good. So we get a +2 modifier. And then we roll 3d6 again for our defense modifier. Ooh, that's a pretty good roll. 15. So our defense is 15, and that gives us basically 3 armor. So that's great. So now we're going to roll 4d6. Ooh, what's it going to be? Nice. Got 20. So 20 gold to start with. And then it says purchase starting equipment. So we're going to go to Stumpfoot's. And since we have 20 gold, we can buy up to the mace. So the mace is a D8 weapon. So we'll write D8 in our weapon dice slot. And it costs 12 gold. So 20 minus 12, 8. All right, so we have 8 gold left, so I think I would like to buy a strong health potion. So we are going to have 1 strong health potion, and that gets us down to 2 gold. All right, let's go back to our rule summary. So this is just explaining the overall basic rules, and I'll show it as we play, but we'll read it out now. During the hero's turn, whatever pot your last bean lands on determines your encounter in the dungeon. If you land in your winning pot, you get to go again. You can end in your winning pot multiple times, continuing the round. You only get 1 winning pot table roll per round, not per bean in the winning pot. During the enemy phase, roll 1d6 to determine which pot the enemy moves from. An encounter only occurs for the player if the enemy ends in their own winning pot, sending a common monster. If the enemy lands in the hero's winning pot, you gain 2d6 times 5 gold. If there are no beans in the rolled enemy pot, move to the next filled pot. For instance, if you roll a 3, but the 3 pot is empty, you move on to the 4th pot. And if that one's empty, you move on to the 5th pot, and so on until you have the ability to move beans for the enemy. Keep playing until all beans have gone into a winning pot. Count how many beans are on each side. You win if you survive to see your side of the pot filled with the most beans. And then, of course, at the very back of the book is my logo and credits. I really like the art that I picked for this book. It's poppy and colorful and just a nice cartoon style that I found intriguing while I was making it. and that was licensed through an artist on Canva. It was some generic name like licensed clip art or something like that on Canva, but I really liked their design, so that is what is used for the artwork in this book. Anyway, let's get playing now that we have our character. So player always goes first. So in traditional Mancala, the best pot to go through first is this one, because then you automatically get a second turn. And let me make sure y'all can actually see the whole thing again. So we're gonna move our 4 beans. 1, 2, and these beans are finicky to pick up. But we land in our winning pot. So that means we get to go again. So I'm going to, I don't really know. I'm not gonna think too strategically. I'm just gonna go for it. I do know that this one will land me a common enemy. So first, since we landed in our winning pot, we get to roll on the winning pot table. So the winning pot table is a 1d6 table. And we get a 3. And so that's tactical planning, +1 on your next attack. So we'll just make note of that on our combat tracker sheet. I should maybe add a little addition so you can track how many power-ups you get basically, but +1 next attack. So I just wrote that at the bottom of the sheet there. So we got our winning prize, and now it is time to go fight an enemy. And I know it's an enemy because we landed in our 6th pot. And the 6th pot is roll common enemy. So we're gonna roll an enemy. To roll an enemy, you roll 2d6s. I'm sorry, you roll 2d4. I was going to do a d6 route of combat, like a monster bestiary. I couldn't think of d6-6. I can only think of d4-4. So d4-4 it is. We get a 2-3. And if you feel like switching it, it's your game. You know, switch it. It could be 2-3 or 3-2. So let's go to our monsters. So 2-3 is 1d4 orcs, and 3-2 is a warg. I think I'm actually going to attempt the warg. So we'll write it down. It has 9 health points, and it has a d8 damage die, so we need to be careful. So now let's go to our combat rules. I want to preface this by saying this is just the method of combat that I came up with for this game, but you don't necessarily have to follow it. You can do whatever combat suits your game best. Really, the only point for this game to be made was to incorporate the Mancala into a dungeon crawl. Like, that was my main goal, and I had a lot of fun doing it. And so I really wanted to come up with like a unique combat system. So it's a little more click-clacky of the dice than a lot of combat systems. So if you prefer doing like converting the HP to an AC, like in traditional Dungeons and Dragons, and doing a roll over or roll under system, absolutely, go for it. The main goal was that I wanted to make something that incorporated Mancala. So don't let this combat system trip you up. Play however you see fit, because I think the idea of the Mancala and playing a single player Mancala dungeon crawl is a lot more fun. So like, than just letting the combat dictate everything. So we're gonna play the way the combat is written, but I just wanted to preface it that you can play the combat however you wish. You can incorporate the Mancala into a whole different dungeon crawl game. It doesn't have to be this one. So yeah, let your imagination go wild with this mechanic. So anyway, for combat, you take 3 d6s. And we're gonna, if we keep getting a lot of combat, you're gonna be getting a lot of dice rolls. So here we go. So we get a 12. On a 12, you and the enemy both hit. On a 14 plus, we would have hit cleanly, and on a 6 or less, the enemy hits us. But we got a 12, so we both hit. The player hits first, always. So even if you think you're going to die, sometimes you kill the enemy before it can hit you, and it saves you. So you hit the enemy with your weapon die. If your attack kills it, the enemy does not hit you back. So our weapon die is a D8. So we're going to take our D8. And of course, the camera is watching. So we roll a 1. So on my combat tracker, I'm just going to notate that the warg is now at 8 health. And they also get to hit me with a D8. The warg hits us for 4, so they got us pretty good. But we do get to subtract our 3 armor from the 4, so he really only hit us for 1. So now we're at 19 health. So next, we just do that again until the warg is dead or we're dead. So this time we got 13, so a 13 we both hit again. So player goes first. We hit it for 2. So it's down to 6. They hit us for 7, obviously. Why wouldn't they? But minus our 3 defense. So they hit us for 4 now. I believe gets us to 15. All right. Oh, I see double 1s. Let's see what this back one is. Oh, I messed it up. We'll re-roll it. Here, we'll just roll this one. 2 1s, so we got a 6, which means that we stumble, miss, or get outmaneuvered. And so only the enemy hits. And of course, they're hitting high again. So again, that's 4 points of damage, bringing us down to 11. This is a brutal first fight. Maybe I should have gone with the other enemy. Oh my goodness. Okay, now we have an 8, so we both hit, so we get to go first. And we hit it for 1. God. Okay. 5. And this is where I'm like thinking, should our strength, which we do have a modifier for, I'm wondering if it should add to the original 3d6 roll or to the damage roll. Let me know in the comments or send me a message what you think of that, because I'm like thinking about how strength doesn't really have any purpose except for getting your total HP. So I think strength needs to be incorporated somehow. That's something that I totally glossed over while putting this together, but now that I'm playing it myself, I think having the +2 modifier, it needs to go somewhere. And I obviously, by having a modifier, originally intended it to go somewhere, but I don't think it's in the actual book. So anyway, I lost my train of thought, so we're just going to go to the next round. Ooh, 7. So we both hit. Or does the enemy get to hit now? I think I skipped the enemy. Oh well. So we hit it for 4 this time. It's down to 1 health point. It hits us for 7 again, which as we know is 4. 10, 9, 8, 7. Okay. That's a little better, a 12, but not what we need. We need a 14 plus to hit cleanly. And we hit it for 3, so it's at -2. It is dead. That was a rough fight. We're at 7. So I think I'm going to use my strong health potion and heal for 2d6. So we heal for 6 hit points, which brings us to 13. So that was our turn. Now it's the enemy's turn. So let's take these dice. We're gonna roll 1d6, and it's a 1. So this is the enemy's first pot. So this is the pot they're going to distribute. A event does not happen for the player when the enemy moves, unless the enemy moves into their own pot or the player's winning pot. When they end in their own pot, they send a common enemy towards the player. If they land in the player's winning pot, the player gets some gold. So now that the enemy has moved and they didn't land in the winning pots, it's the player's turn again, and the player can decide to move any of their pots. So let's look at our map here. So I think I either want a random encounter or to heal. So I need to land in the first pot or the fourth or sixth pot on the other side. Though I have some options here. So let's see, we have 6 beans here. So that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which gets us to the 5th pot, which is a random encounter. This pot also has 6. So if we move it, it'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which would get us to make camp heal 1d6. So I'm going to do that pot. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We land in the enemy's 4th pot. So we get to make camp and heal 1d6. And we just heal 1 point, but hey, I'll take it. 1 point can save you. So we're at 14 health points now. And now it is the enemy's turn. Enemy gets a 3, so they're going to distribute this pot. So the enemy landed in this pot here, and even though they got a bean in their winning pot now, it wasn't their last bean. Only the last bean matters. So it's now the player's turn to go again. So if we move our last pot, we can move 5 spaces, which will give us another common enemy. If we move this pot, we get a flea market, but we don't really have any gold, so that might not be worth it. This pot, we get a common enemy. This pot has 6 beans, so it gets 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which is a random encounter. So I think we'll move that pot and go get a random encounter so we can show you guys what a random encounter looks like. So we get a random encounter. We go to the random encounters table, roll 1d6. We get a 3. We meet Bass, my favorite character that I've made, Bass the Tavern Owner. He offers a quest, roll 1d6, and we get a 1. We fail the quest, so we don't get a reward for that random encounter, but that's okay. It is now the enemy's turn. Another 1, so this is their first pot, so they'll move their beans. Nothing happens for the player. Player gets to move now. Let's see. This one has 8 beans right now, so 8 beans would get us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That would get us into the enemy pot, which would send us to an elite monster. For the purposes of the video, I kind of do want to show an elite monster, but I'm fairly certain I'm going to die. So let's just do it. Let's just see how this goes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Ooh. So we landed in the enemy's winning pot, which means now we have to roll an elite monster. So D6. We get a 4, which is a basilisk. It has 28 HP and a weapon die of 10. So combat, 3d6. We get an 11. That means we both hit. I have a d8. I hit it for 7. Good start. It's down to 21. But it gets to hit 2 with a D10. It gets a 2. Thank God we block it completely with our -3 defense. So we're good. We don't take any point of damage to our 14 health. And then we do it again. 3d6. 6, 10, 14. 14 plus is we hit cleanly. The monster doesn't get to hit at all. So we hit with our D8. We hit for 3. Okay. Let's have some more luck. And of course I jinxed it. We get a 10. We both hit. We hit for 1. I did jinx it, you guys. They hit with the 10. Oh, 2. We completely block again. 6, 10. We both hit. 7 points of damage. They're down to 10 damage already. They hit us for 3, but we have 3 armor, so we block completely again. This is awesome. Okay. 8, 9. We both hit. If I can get the dice out. All right. We hit for 7. Okay, okay, okay. I thought... Oh my goodness. I don't want to jinx it anymore. Okay. Oh, they got a 1. They got a 1. Okay. 3d6. 12. We both hit. Okay, we have to roll a 3. We have to roll a 3 or higher. Yes! Okay, -3. They are dead. I was so sure we were going to die. But that worked out surprisingly well. The dice gods were on our side. Okay. Wow, that was great. Okay, so that is like why I like the combat system, because it creates a lot of tension and excitement. But like I said earlier, do whatever combat system feels best for your game. Okay. So that was, we landed in the enemy pot. So we got an elite monster. So now it's the enemy's turn to move. They get a 6, so this is their 6th pot. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. And then we get to go. So this is perfect because we get winning pot. We get winning pot. And now we can choose based on our map where we want to end up. We can end up with a random encounter. This one gives us random encounter, random encounter. This one gives us common enemy. This one, number 6, oh, it gives us a win as well. Okay, we're going that way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I dropped one in here. 6. All right, perfect. And then we can move this one into the winning pot. We can move... So this one will give us a common enemy. This one will give us common enemy. This one will give us common enemy. This will give us random encounter. Let's do random encounter. 1, 2, 3. Landed here, so that's random encounter. Okay, so first let's roll on our winning pot. Six. Enhanced weapon. Roll with advantage. So advantage is you add 1d6 to your combat roll dice pool. So when we're rolling our 3d6 trying to get a clean hit, this one allows you to roll 4d6 to try to get a clean hit. Alright, so now let's do our random encounter. Get a 4. Stumpfoot the dwarf offers to sell you a random item from the flea market. So I don't have any gold, but for a random item, there's 10 items listed. So you would roll a d10. And it's a 3, so he offers to sell you the mace. If you don't like that randomness, you can choose what he offers to sell you. That's fine. But I like the randomness of seeing what he offers. All right, so that was our turn. So now it is the enemy's turn to move. So we roll a d6. fourth pot. 1, 2, 3, 4. We got this pot with all the beans in it. Okay. That sort of messes me up because I could have gone to my winning pot with this one had he not reached there. So we have 4 here, 5 here, so those both end up in this pot, and let's see what that is. That pot is a random encounter, so those get us random encounters. This one also gets us a random encounter. This one gets us a flea market, which we don't need, and this one gets us, a healing. We'll go there to healing. So we get to heal 1d6. Get a 4. So now we're at 18 health, and let me just quickly erase this to give myself a little more room. Okay, 18 health. We're almost back to max, so that's great. So now it's the enemy's turn to move. 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so now it's our turn. Of course, we're gonna go to our winning pot. And let's see where else we can go. We can get here. I think that's a random encounter. Okay, yep. Random encounter. Flea market. Flea market. Flea market. Or heal again. Let's try healing just because we only have 2 hit points missing, but we can heal all of it. So let's get back up to 20. Awesome. Okay, enemy's turn. 3, third pot. 1, 2, 3. Our turn. So now it's like, do we balance playing actual Mancala and trying to get all the beans in the pot? Or do we play with the dungeon crawl? So like, where does it matter where I land, or does it matter that I get beans in my pot? So let's see. I think I'll move this one, and we will get a common enemy, and that'll be fun to see who we get. Two, 3 again. Let me let's switch that up from the warg. Oh my god. Okay, 4, 1 or 1, 4. So 1, 4 is 1d6 skeletons, and 4, 1 is 1d4 plus 2 zombies. I think I'm gonna take the skeletons. Okay, so let's roll our d6 to see how many skeletons we are dealing with. Just 1, so just 1 skeleton. Skeleton has 3 HP with a weapon die of d6. This is going to be a walk in the park, I hope. (3d6). 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We both hit. We go first with our d8 mace. And we hit for 7. It is dead. Walk in the park. Alright, perfect. So that was our turn. So now it's the enemy's turn. Gets a 6. 1, 2, 3. Now it's our turn. We're going to move to the winning pot. Oh, and I think I forgot to do a winning pot roll. Did I? I don't remember. Either way, we got a winning pot that time. I think we're going to heal. Oh, wait, we don't need to heal. LOL. Well, I already moved, so that's fine. So we wasted that turn. 5. Okay. our turn now. Let's look at the map. We can get here, which is a common enemy. I think I'm just gonna be random and not count and just see what happens if I move this pot. That's the third. It's a random encounter, okay? We have to fight a common enemy anyway. Even though we landed on random encounter, we have to fight the common enemy. So let's go to our D4 table. We get a 1-1. All right, so we're gonna fight 1d4 plus 2 giant rats. We're gonna be fighting 6 giant rats. All right, so giant rats. 6 times 1 HP is 6, so they have a total of 6 HP with a weapon die of D4. And it hasn't really come up yet because I've been rolling low numbers on how many we're fighting, but it's 1 weapon die per 2 enemies. So they technically have 3 D4 attacks against me. Alright, so that's fun. And again, play combat however you want. If you want just 1 D4 for all 6 rats, totally fine. No problem. So let's get right into our combat. Six, 7, 8. We both hit. I hit with my D8. I only hit for 2, so down to 4, but now instead of 3 D4 to hit me, they have 2 D4 to hit me. They hit me for 4. Okay, so we're down to 16 health. And now we go again. 4, 8. So I believe we still both hit with an 8. I hit only for 1. And they hit for 5. Oof. These rats are no joke. Oh, they hit for 5. Okay, that's an 11. An 11 again, so we both hit. Ooh, we hit for 8, nice. So we killed the rest of them. Okay, perfect. So that was our turn. Now it's the enemy's turn to move. And they're winning, and they went into their winning pot. So we have to fight a common monster. We are fighting a 1-2 or a 2-1, which is kobolds or flying snakes. I think I'm gonna go kobold. So we got an 11, which means we both hit. I hit for 2. And they hit for 2 D4s. They hit me for 5. Back there's a 5, 1, and a 2. Trying to get the 5 out. Okay. That was, yeah, 1 and 2. So an 8, we both hit, I believe. Yeah, and 8 is we both hit still. We hit for 8 this time, killing them all. And if you want to incorporate some type of loot into the system, go for it. Sounds great. My wife was actually doing that by rolling 1d6 after every enemy she defeated. So that's a great way to build gold if that's what you prefer to do. So now it's the players' turns. We want to go... Oh, I keep forgetting to roll my winning pot. Let's roll 2 of them. 2 6s. So, and I keep forgetting to roll my advantage. Okay. And a strong healing potion. I think I'm just going to take that now. 6. So we're at 12. Okay. We landed in a healing zone. That's great. I did not even count. I just went for it. And that is a 1, I believe, back there. Oh, no, it's a 3. I'll re-roll it just to be safe. I'll take the better. All right. So we heal for 6. Almost back to full health again. Okay. And now that was the enemy's, no, that was our turn. So now it's the enemy's turn. They rolled a 6, so we go back around and do their first one. Because their 6th pot is empty. Okay, our turn. I'm going to go to the winning pot. I won't forget to roll the table this time. We get a 1, so 1d6 gold pieces. Get a 4, so now we're finally getting some money. We're at 8 gold now. Okay. Enemy's turn. 2, so the big pot. Ooh, the enemy landed in our big pot, which means we get 2d6 times 5 gold pieces. 5 times 5, 25 gold pieces. Ooh, I hope we get to go to the flea market soon because that is a warhammer. So, winning pot, and I'm just going to roll it now since I keep forgetting. 2, 2d6 gold pieces. We're getting gold all of a sudden. 4. I think I want to take random encounter. Yeah, random encounter. Oh no, a trap. Roll 1d6. 3. Take 1d2 damage. So 1 to 3 will be 1, 4 to 6 will be 2. So just 1 damage for the trap. Okay. So that was our turn. Now it's the enemy's turn. 4th pot. 1, 2, 3, 4. Our turn, so obviously we want to go to the winning pot. We'll roll for our winning pot. 2, 2d6 gold pieces. Just 2 pieces. Okay. Alright, and so that was our turn, and we got the winning pot, so we get to go again. think I'll go here. And then enemy's turn. Get a 3, so their pot. And they land in their own enemy pot, so they send a common monster after us. It's a 4-1 or a 1-4. One 4 is skeletons, which we've already done, or a 4-1 is zombies. So we'll do some zombies. So 1d4 plus 2, 5 zombies. They have 6 times 5 is 30 HP with a weapon of d4. So they get 3 d4s against me. Love that. Love that for me. All right. Okay. We both hit. Yes, an 8. Okay, so we knock out a lot of them. Well, one of them. 1.5. So now they only have 2 d4s against me. They hit me for 6 though, so that's pretty rough. We're down to 11 again. Okay. Eight. No, 7. 7. We both hit. Hit for 3. They hit me for 2. Okay. Five, 12. Okay, so 12 is we both hit. I hit it for 3, so it's down to 16. They hit me for 2, so that's 4. Okay, I thought I did my math wrong, but we're good. We're good. Okay. Ooh, now that's a good one. Okay, perfect. So 17, right? 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 means we hit cleanly. They don't get a hit on us. But we waste it with a 1. Brutal. Okay. 6, 10, 11, we both hit. 7. All right, and that's a little better. And then they're at 8, so they'll only 1 d4 against me now. They get a 3, which is good because it's good they only have 1 d4 because I think they would have killed me just then. We have a 3 back there. That's an 8, so we both hit. We hit first. We need an 8. And we got an 8. I wasn't looking. Oh, that's awesome. Okay, 0. We kill them. They don't get their last hit on us. And we survive with 2 HP. That's insane. We need to find a healing potion. That's for sure. And also I forgot my +1 attacks and my advantage, even though I have it written. Okay. So that was because the enemy landed in their winning pot. Is that right? I don't know if that's right, but I'm saying it's our turn. This is a common enemy. We don't want that because we're about to die. 3 is the flea market. Okay, perfect. We have a lot of gold now, so we're going to go to the flea market. we're going to buy a strong health potion for 2d6 and just use it right now. Oh, okay, 10. We heal for 10. That's great. So now we're at 12 health, and that subtracted 6 gold points from us. And since I keep forgetting to use my like +1 attacks and advantages, I'm not gonna get any strength potions. However, since I have 33 gold left, I am gonna get a great sword to upgrade my weapon die. Okay, so now we have a D12. So let's get our D12 out. They got a 2. They don't have a second one, so we go to their next available. Now it's our turn. We're gonna go to our winning pot. We're gonna roll on our winning pot table. Got a 4. We get to block the next attack. If I remember. So far that... Okay, sorry, my camera stopped recording. So basically all that's happened is I landed in the enemy's winning pool, and so now I have to fight a Minotaur. It is sort of going okay. I hit them for a good amount, I think 8, and then they hit me for only 2, but my armor blocked it. I have been forgetting about armor this whole time except for the very beginning, so my apologies. I know this video is kind of chaotic, but it's my first one ever, so, you know, give me a break. Alright, cool. So now we're just going to continue combat. We get 5, 10, 13, not quite enough, so we hit with our D12 first. That is a... Let me see if I can bring it out without moving it. That is a 12. Okay, cool. A 12. We have brought them down to 6 hit points. They hit us now for 2, and we block it again. Awesome. Now, this one is a 15, which means we hit cleanly. They don't hit us at all. And we hit them for 2 this time. So they're down to 4. All right, 12, 13, 14, 15 again. And we hit for 7 this time, killing them dead. Awesome. All right, so that was our turn. Now it's the enemy's turn to move. 6. And we get to go into our winning pot. Let's roll on our table. 1d6 gold pieces. 2 gold pieces. We're at 10. Okay, and then winning pot again. Winning pot again. Let's spread these out a little bit. And let's go to our map and see what we can do now. We can get a common enemy, a flea market, or a heal. Let's get a heal. Heal for 3, so we're at 15. We can now get common enemy either way, so we'll just go common enemy. One, 3 cultists. 1d4 cultists. 4 cultists. $15, so we hit cleanly. and we hit for 11, so they're just down to 1 hit point. Okay, wow, good first roll. Okay, 9, we both hit. They hit, well, we hit first, and we hit for 10. They are dead. All right, easy peasy. Let's keep it moving. So the enemy gets to move now. They're moving their 4th pot. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're moving. We can end in a random encounter, I believe. Yep, let's do that. Random encounter. Common enemy. Okay. 2, 1. Some flying snakes. One D4 of them. 3 of them. 8. Oh, sorry. 12. Perfect. 12. We hit for 1. Why wouldn't we hit for 1? They hit for 2 D6s, so that's kind of brutal. Ooh, 7. Just gonna write up here now. Okay, let's try again. Ooh, that looks good. That's 12, 13, 14, 15. We hit cleanly. That's great news. We hit for 4. Again. Okay, perfect. We hit cleanly again. This time we hit for 7. Eight, 9, 10. We hit for 11. Oh, we couldn't have rolled a 12. We're at 1 HP for the flying snakes. And the snakes hit us for, there's only 1 living, so they only hit us for 1 D6. And they hit us for 3. Okay, so 8 minus 3 is 5. Okay, and let's see here. We have to not miss. And we don't, we're good. We're going to hit them, and no matter what, we kill them. Perfect. Flying snakes, dead. So that was us getting a common enemy for our random encounter. So now it's the enemy's turn to move. Move their first pot. We're going to move into our common enemy one again. So D4, 4. 2, 4. Imps or a dryad. I'm going to go with the dryad. Okay, 4, 5, 6, 7. Is that a miss? Oh, no, we both make it. Okay. I get an 8. It gets a D8 roll. Gets an 8, of course. And that... Oh, minus 3, though, which is still 5. So that kills us. However, if you still wanted to finish playing the Mancala, you totally could. So you go your turn. Gets a 3. You go your turn. And you can count the beans and see how well you did. Honestly, this was a lot of fun. I had a blast making it, a blast playing it, and I loved playing it for you guys, even though we died. But that's just how dungeon crawls go sometimes. And you can adapt it in any fashion that you like, which makes it a lot of fun and a lot more dynamic. I hope you enjoyed this playthrough. I know it was a little crazy, but I hope you enjoyed it and learned something about the game. And if you play it, let me know. All right, have a good night.